Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of SEScoops, and today I am joined by the witchy House of Black member and number one contender to the TBS Championship, Julia Hart. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm fantastic to be chatting with you today. We'll talk some spooky season stuff coming up, but we have to start off with this amazing opportunity that you have coming up ahead for you. And in about 24 hours, you will be challenging Kris Statlander for the TBS Championship at AEW WrestleDream. Before we look into your interaction with Kris Statlander, I need to point out that this is your first pay-per-view singles match. So how are
Yes.
you feeling knowing you are about to accomplish a huge first like that?
I'm just so excited. I think I've been prepping for this since I'm with the House of Black. I go out with them every pay-per-view, so I know the crowd, I know the feel, I know how hectic the day is. So I think it's just been preparation this whole time, and now I finally have my own match, which is just so exciting.
Yeah, and heading into this, you are riding on an expansive winning streak. At the time of recording this, you're 27-0. You will be facing somebody who knows a thing or two about snapping undefeated streaks, Kris Statlander. This isn't your first time meeting up with Kris, but it is the first time that the TBS Championship will be on the line. So what is your mindset looking into this matchup, looking at the history between you two, but also knowing you have the chance to finally win some AEW Championship gold?
Yeah, this will be our third time in the ring. She's seen me at every point in my career from being a very young cheerleader. I think she was maybe my second or third match in AEW. And then she also saw me during the eye patch era where I had one eye. I was so weak. I didn't know what I was doing. So she saw me at like two really low points of my career. Now I feel like I'm just climbing up the ladder. So I guess we'll just see with the more experience I have now with the House of Black behind me, just and see. I don't know if she's ready for the new Julia. Okay.
2021, 2022, 2023, this new Julia Hart is way different than you said than before. But, talking about House of Black, normally I would say your ensemble syncs up with kind of on the spectrum of black colors. But I have to say, I really, really loved your recent white gear and white and gold hat that you wore at Wembley Stadium. Do you have a certain source of inspiration behind it? Can you kind of tell us the story and design behind this look? Because I'm a big fan of it.
Well, I'll be honest. Brody's wife, Emily, she was the one that was talking to the girl that makes the hats, and she helped design it. It was more of a surprise for me, and Emily just helped me come up with the look. I was at Brody and Emily's house. We were just
Yeah.
sitting and looking at different outfits for like 2 hours or so, and I finally just picked different stuff that I thought would look good together, and then I just pieced them all together. But yeah, I think just the only inspiration they gave me was just white and gold. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna see. I really like the one pieces on me. I think they're pretty flattering, and then I loved the jacket I had with, and the really big crazy boots. Yeah, that was just me sitting shopping for hours, seeing what I thought looked good with Emily and Brody's help.
That's a mood. Shopping is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
your character definitely draws a lot of connections to a darker realm, witchcraft to an extent. I know your mom is super into witchcraft and phases of the moon, so perhaps part of your
yeah.
character comes from her influence, but kind of people have called you Stevie Nicks too as well, kind of. What or who do you channel when you're out there on that stage? Again, what are your sources of inspo behind your general character presentation?
Yeah, so I do have about like there's four different characters I try to pull from. I would say Wednesday, of course.
Wednesday Adams,
And then
yeah.
Sabrina, the teenage witch, but from the Netflix series, how she's kind of sassy and you know. And then Stevie Nicks, of course. And then actually Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. I love just her aura and how confident she is and how of a badass she is. So I'd say I probably pull from all four of those characters in a different way. Stevie definitely from like her outfits, and American Horror Story is like
Yes.
my all-time favorite show. So season 3 definitely is a big inspiration as well.
Do you recall the first horror movie you've ever seen? Because you've kind of grown up around it. Like I said, your mom was super into it when she was a teen. So I assume you
Yeah.
just grew up around it. Do you remember your first horror movie you saw?
So there's two moments I do remember. I do remember I watched Haunted House, which is like the cartoon. My mom and my older sister were away at like a camp or something. So it was just me and my dad. And my dad made me watch it. And I was so scared. I was probably like 5 when I watched it, but I remember it so vividly because I was so scared. But I think it was what actually made me like more scarier movies was Coraline.
Yeah.
I watched that when I was probably like 6 or 7 when that came out, and that I just loved it. I remember my cousins being so scared of it, but I was like not scared at all. I was like, no, this is just good. This is a good movie. And then probably around when I was 12, Insidious. That's when I was on the horror movie kick. That's when Insidious is what got me into really big horror movies.
Yeah, you are a spooky person. It is spooky season. So I find
Yeah.
it also very fitting that you are getting married on, I believe, Friday the 13th. And if not, it's very close to that if I did my math
Yeah.
correctly.
You did it
Uh,
right. Yes.
Tell us a bit about your wedding plans and if you, I assume you're incorporating some spooky elements into the ceremony somehow.
Well, our colors are black and white and burgundy, so they are like more of a darker color. And I do have a lot of black lanterns that'll be featured around the wedding. And then me and Lee also did like a little movie trailer for our wedding, and he was like in a Jason mask. So it was super corny, super cute, super fun and spooky. And we had like bloody hands. But yeah, I think just more of like accents of spookiness. And I think everyone's wearing black. The bridesmaids and the grooms will be wearing black, and but I'm gonna be wearing white. I will say that I am wearing white just for the one day, the one time.
I mean, we saw maybe obviously it's going to be in a gown form, but we saw a little preview at All In. You look good in white, Julia. So
Thank you.
it's your wedding day, but you're also incorporating the spooky elements to it, which is your
Yes.
essence. So I respect it.
Yes.
Your mom is super into Hocus Pocus. I know. In the spirit of spooky season, though, if you could have any mythological or fictional creature be your tag team partner for an evening, what would you choose and why? Maybe now that I'm thinking about this, it might just be a witch. I don't know, but I'm curious to hear your answer.
I don't know why the first thing that came to my mind was Thing from Wednesday. Something like that. Yeah, that would be great. Imagine tagging that in. That would be great. Yeah, that's the first thing that just came to my head when you asked me that.
Or you could have your pet snake.
Or my
I
pet
mean,
snake. Yeah, he
it's
doesn't do too much.
oh really?
He just sleeps all day.
Just chilling. I
Yeah,
that
he's
that would freak people out though. I think much like a thing from the Addams Family would.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know, but earlier you were talking about your tag team partners. You're very lucky enough to have 3 of them: Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. You're still in these early stages of your career, but I have to imagine that working alongside 3 veterans has probably provided you with some extra guidance in various departments. So can you kind of share what some of the things that you've learned from your House of Black stablemates that's really helped you in wrestling or in life in general?
Yeah, I think one thing they do really well on is they kind of let me try things and then they just tell me if it's good or bad. It's either no or that's good. So it's either like they really do let me express myself in my own way and then they just tell me if that's correct or not. And I take the criticism from them and I appreciate it so much. So yeah, I guess it's more of just like a yes or no type of thing if I come up with anything, or they'll tell me if something may be better. And yeah,
Do you
they're
remember?
really great.
Yeah, do you recall one instance of some criticism or feedback that you got that you tweaked and then implemented kind of in the future?
I'm trying to think. I feel like it's mostly in my matches of like when I should have been more aggressive or when I should have done this to someone to help elevate me or just done this or that. Definitely in my matches. But when it comes to my character and the way I dress and the way I do things, I think we all work really well together because we all kind of have like the same vision in a way. When I first joined House of Black, um, what I did was Malachi asked me to do a promo for him to see if I even had some type of the same vision.
Yeah.
And I did the promo and he watched it and he goes, "Yep." And that was pretty much it. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Yep." And then it just kind of went from there. So yeah, I think we all just work really well together, and I'm always here to listen what they have to say. So
Yeah, and you vibe very well together. And like you said, you've definitely grown tremendously, since starting professional wrestling. So outside of that character aspect, how else do you think you've grown as a competitor and a person since joining the wrestling space?
just finding my confidence, definitely, especially in this character of the cheerleader. I feel like I was a lot more timid and a lot more not willing to put myself out there. And like this is like a whole different version of me where I feel like I can just give it my 1,000%, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
even like just walking into a room, I can feel more confident knowing like I don't care type of feel, you know. So I think that has helped a lot too.
Yeah, and your efforts have definitely been recognized. I actually asked Tony Khan on the AEW WrestleDream media call about kind of his thoughts on your evolution and now positioning yourself as the TBS Championship challenger. He said that you are a very gifted athlete who presents great ideas, someone who works very hard and is a pleasure to work with. So I kind of wanted to get your response to that and some insight into your interactions with Tony on that front.
That is like the nicest thing. He is so sweet. He's so kind and so nice, and you can really just go up to him and ask him anything, and he'll give you an answer. So I think that's just one great thing about Tony is he's willing to talk to anybody, and he's always so excited. I think one time I came back from a match, and it was just a quick little 3-minute match I had with one of the local wrestlers, and I came to the back and he ran up and hugged me, and he was just like, "You are incredible," and I was just like, wow, okay, I must be doing something right if he likes what I'm doing. So Tony always giving encouragement to everybody, and he's just so great.
Yeah, and outside of wrestling, you have another gift, which is playing the ukulele. Tell us about how you discovered this talent and kind of the extent of your background in relation to it.
So my dad always made me play instruments. I used to play the electric guitar, but it was electric guitar is so hard. I give props to anybody that can play. So I just wanted to find something a little bit easier, and the ukulele is a lot more easier. So I think I was probably around 10 when I picked up the ukulele. And I watched the movie Soul Surfer when I was younger, and I saw them in like Hawaii playing the ukulele. I was like, oh, I want to play the ukulele. And it's so pretty and just so small and cute. So
We sadly can't hear you play it right now, unfortunately, but do you have a go-to song that you like to play on the ukulele and why?
probably the song Riptide. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like the same 5 chords just over and over again.
Fair enough, fair enough,
Or this, yeah. Or the
Go ahead.
song Summer by Calvin Harris.
Paris?
Yeah, that
Oh,
one's a fun one.
I'm trying to imagine this now.
Yeah, I remember I played, so corny. I went, when me and my friends were younger and we had bonfires, I used to play that song and people would like sing it around the campfire.
I
Yeah.
know you recently posted a video of you. I can't remember the song, but I think that could be some like Instagram content, Julia, or TikTok if you're on
So
TikTok.
through the Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
I wasn't actually playing that. The song was over
Mm,
it just from that was more just still shots of me with the ukulele, but
got it.
that was the song that was
You
playing
know,
by Tim. Yeah. I'm
Final question. Do you have any other hidden talents that we don't know about?
trying to think. Um, I can tuck my ear inside of my ear, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That's something that's a weird thing. I think it's the weirdest thing I can do, but other than that, I can ski.
Do do I
I,
want to know how you accidentally discovered your ear tucking in your ear?
I just have a thing where I just play with my ears like constantly, and I just well stuck them in there, but it only works when they're cold. So right now is not a good time because my hat is making my ears warm. But that is a weird
Hmm.
thing I do
Hmm.
that people don't really know about, so now everyone's
Yeah.
gonna
There you go, guys. Julia, ear contortionist. There you go.
know.
Julia Hart, thank you so much for chatting with me here today. Don't forget to tune into AEW WrestleDream live on pay-per-view Sunday night, beginning with the 0 hour pre-show at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Julia, congratulations. This is going to be your first pay-per-view singles match coming up, and, good luck.
Thank
We
you so
look
much.
forward to this TBS Championship title match.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.